Today we need to talk about something absolutely insane that just went down on live television. We're talking about a moment that has sent shockwaves through the entire sports world, a moment that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith, two of the biggest names in basketball media, just had a full-blown explosive confrontation during a live ESPN broadcast. And when I say explosive, I mean it. This wasn't just a heated debate, it was a physical altercation that forced the network to cut to an emergency commercial break and has left everyone speechless. So, let's break down exactly what happened. The segment started like many others on First Take. Stephen A. Smith was doing what he does best, passionately criticizing a superstar. His target this time? LeBron James. He was going in on LeBron's recent performance, questioning his leadership, and suggesting that the Lakers' struggles were a sign of a bigger problem. We've all seen this before, right? Stephen A. gets fired up, uses his signature catchphrases, and stirs the pot. Usually LeBron is miles away, probably preparing for a game, and doesn't engage. But not this time. This time, LeBron was right there in the studio, sitting across the desk, and you could see the frustration building on his face with every word Stephen A. uttered. The tension was already thick enough to cut with a knife, but then Stephen A. crossed a line. He looked directly at LeBron and dropped the two words that no elite athlete ever wants to hear: washed up. He didn't just suggest it, he declared it. He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, "LeBron, you've had a legendary career, one of the greatest of all time, but it's over. You're washed up, and it's time for you to retire." That was the spark that lit the fuse. You could see something snap in LeBron. The years of hearing the criticism, the constant debate about his legacy, the non-stop pressure, it all boiled over in that single moment. What happened next is what has everyone talking. LeBron, who had been clenching his jaw, slowly stood up from his chair. The studio fell silent. He walked around the desk, right up to Stephen A. Smith, who was still in the middle of his rant. LeBron didn't say a word. He just looked at him, and then, in a move that stunned everyone, he reportedly slapped the stack of papers right out of Stephen A. His hands. The papers went flying across the studio. It was pure chaos. Stephen A. jumped to his feet, shouting, and for a second, it looked like it was about to get even worse. Immediately, you saw producers and security guards rush onto the set, physically getting between the two of them. You could hear muffled shouting as they tried to separate them before the broadcast abruptly cut to a commercial. The screen just went black, then to a car ad, leaving millions of viewers staring at their TVs in disbelief. Of course, in today's world, off-air doesn't mean unseen. Within minutes, shaky cell phone videos from people in the studio started flooding social media. The clip of LeBron confronting Stephen A. and slapping the papers went viral instantly. The internet absolutely exploded. The hashtags #LeBron, #Stephen A., and #ESPN clash were trending worldwide. It was all anyone was talking about. You had two camps forming almost immediately. On one side, you have fans defending LeBron. They're saying things like, "Finally, someone stood up to Stephen A. is constant negativity, and LeBron is human. How much criticism can one man take?" They see it as a raw, emotional response from a legend who has been under a microscope his entire career and simply had enough. They're arguing that Stephen A's comments were disrespectful and that he got a taste of his own medicine. But then you have the other side. People are saying that no matter what was said, violence or the threat of it is never the answer. They're criticizing LeBron, saying that as a role model and one of the faces of the NBA, his behavior was unacceptable and unprofessional. The argument is that he's a public figure who should have the composure to handle criticism, even when it's harsh. They believe he let his emotions get the better of him, and that there will and should be consequences for his actions. It's a debate that's raging on every platform with valid points on both sides. Where do you stand on this? Let me know in the comments below because this is a really complex issue. Now let's talk about the fallout, because it is massive. Stephen A. Smith didn't wait long to respond. He went on his podcast later that day and addressed the incident. He was still visibly shaken but also defiant. He called LeBron's actions utterly unacceptable and a complete loss of control. He said that while he respects LeBron as a player, he will not be intimidated and will continue to do his job, which is to give his honest, unfiltered opinions. He made it clear that he believes a line was crossed and that he expects ESPN and the NBA to take action. He essentially doubled down, framing himself as a journalist who was attacked for doing his job. Meanwhile, LeBron's camp has been unusually quiet. As of this recording, there has been no official statement from LeBron, his agent Rich Paul, or the Clutch Sports Group. This silence is deafening and is only fueling more speculation. Are they crafting the perfect PR response? Are they in damage control mode? Or are they letting the action speak for itself, hoping the public support for him will carry the narrative? This lack of response is a story in itself. It's a high-stakes chess match, and every move, or lack thereof, is being scrutinized. It makes you wonder what's being said behind closed doors between LeBron, his team, the Lakers, and maybe even the league office. And what about ESPN? The network is in a full-blown crisis management situation. This is their worst nightmare. Two of their biggest stars, one a legendary athlete, the other their highest-paid commentator, involved in a physical altercation on their flagship show. Reports are saying that network executives are scrambling. Meetings are happening at the highest levels to figure out how to handle this. Do they suspend Stephen A? Do they ban LeBron from their shows? How do they address this publicly without alienating either party or their massive fan bases? It's a tightrope walk over a canyon. Their credibility is on the line, and any decision they make will be met with intense criticism from one side or the other. This incident has exposed a raw nerve, and the network is now at the center of a firestorm. The implications for the wider NBA are huge as well. The league office has to be watching this closely. The NBA has a strict code of conduct for its players, and this incident, even though it happened in a TV studio, could potentially be seen as a violation. Will Commissioner Adam Silver step in? Could LeBron face a fine or even a suspension? It's uncharted territory. A player of his stature has never been involved in something like this with a major media personality on live TV. This sets a precedent, and how the league chooses to handle it will send a message to all players about how they interact with the media. This goes beyond a simple debate. It touches on the very nature of the player-media relationship, a relationship that has always been tense but has now reached a boiling point. This entire situation is a perfect storm of ego, pressure, and the 24/7 sports media cycle. For LeBron, it's the culmination of 2 decades of being the chosen one, carrying teams on his back and having every single move analyzed and criticized. Think about the pressure he's under constantly. Maybe, just maybe, the washed-up comment was the straw that broke the camel's back. For Stephen A., his entire brand is built on being provocative and generating strong reactions. He pushes buttons for a living. But the question now is, did he finally push too far? Did he forget that the athlete on the other side of his critique is a real person with real emotions? This incident forces us to ask where the line is between critical analysis and personal attack. This is a moment that will be remembered and debated for years to come. It's like the modern-day version of those old-school player-reporter rivalries, but amplified by social media and played out for millions to see in real time. It's a raw, unfiltered look at what happens when the pressure cooker of professional sports and media finally explodes. It's proof that even legends, icons who seem invincible, can be pushed to their breaking point. The story is far from over. We are still waiting for an official word from LeBron, and the decisions from ESPN and the NBA will shape the narrative in the days and weeks to come. This is a developing situation, and you can bet we will be following every single twist and turn. What a truly unbelievable day in the sports world. I'm still trying to process it all. Thank you so much for tuning in to get the full breakdown. I really want to hear your thoughts on this, so please drop a comment below. Was LeBron justified, or did he go too far? And what should happen next? Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates on this story and all the other major happenings in sports. We'll be on top of it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.